monkey. What's going on?
Shanab, there's something out there. An afterling?
So, they can live in plants too. Every day you learn something new.
Shanab, what should I do with this thing?
Secure it, obviously. Do it now!
I heard you.
Okay. Thanks for telling me. But Josie.
Yo, what's on?
This is what I kind of meant when you said in 20 minutes it'd be good for you, where I'd be like,
What should we
ooh,
do?
I want to say yes, but I don't know what's going to happen in 20.
You're chilling.
If we strike now, we might be able to defeat that girl, armor and all.
Once
Have
I'm
you
done
come
with this,
across
I
any
can save.
boxes as hard as the chicken
Yeah.
yet?
But I don't want to kill the afterman in the process.
Dude, I swear to you, that's like the hardest one in the game.
What?
The chicken.
But
is the
just in
real
case,
boss.
I am now next level. I am now 999.
I don't know why.
Dude, I swear I
We're
beat
not
this at
supposed
like,
to kill him.
but when I first,
Is it because of the connection to
Hold
that
on.
other world?
dude, the first time I played this though, I fished for like every side quest, so I was probably like a little high anyway. And then I remember it failing a couple times on that boss. Like probably like 10 at most, right? Which is probably like more closer to 15, but I'm guessing 10 because I'm really feeling 5. But let's just say 10. And
I'm
since
not
I've been
sure,
kind of like
But
speeding
my heart
through
is
this,
telling me.
it's like I was probably under leveled and I already saved. So the thing is, even if people give me shit about cheating, right? It's kind of like I already saved and I was in disc 2 and you can't grind and I'm under leveled. Like if anything, that's a soft log. And I'm not doing this for like a credible run. I'm just trying to show off the story because it's a pretty good story.
Yeah, it's my week.
Don't kill it.
If we attack the root,
Cause, dude,
Wouldn't that
this
help
game
it get
has a
red?
lot of bombshells once we're out of this area, actually. Once we're done with the new A, it's the final area. And the thing is, too, is it's like, you can have, it does the thing where it's like, multiple endings. And I'm going for like the full one, but it's not that hard to do the full one. The full one's just go to the past and beat Wiseman, and you get the real ending. But if you don't, the final ending is defeating Bailiff.
Right.
Don't
But
hurt
if you
the
beat
afterman.
Wiseman,
Strike only
the
roots
final
and we can set
villain.
it free.
What? Do you care about the lore of this or no?
Thank you, both of you.
It seems like an interesting story, but I probably won't watch
Like I
it
said
if that's what. Like I probably
Get
won't
ready,
like watch
Milliard.
the full story if that's what you're asking. So you can just talk away about it.
right
The
behind
the
you.
the guy that hired you is the one that set all this up. He's been trying to get you to kill these things so that he can like make himself like immortal or whatever. So he actually fuses with Wiseman of the past and becomes like you basically fight him in as the essence of all things, and you become like it's like a God Slayer thing. Like you fight him in like outer space and everything. But it's like a big twist. Because you've been fighting Bailiff And the big twist with Bailiff is he's actually a spiritor, and he's doing this because his spirit told him to do it. And his spirit turned on him, and it turns out his spirit is the spirit of the main character of the next game. He was doing what he thought was right. So all these people we're fighting are like in Legion with your guy, but they're like trying to backstab the other guy, who seems like a bad guy. But here's the thing, right? You see how there's a chick on my team?
Yeah, the fairy bitch.
Yeah. So you would think, like, the main character you are, is a spiritor, who's like he's like co-linked with like the guy that originally formed Malpertio, which is like the 5 instance of the god of destruction. So he's that link and a spiritor on top of it. And then the guy that's with, or the thing that's in the middle there is, there's 5 of them, and it's one of the 5 of 2 people combined into one that's supposed to be a god slayer. So he's actually like a god slayer. So he's fond of you because, like, and he's got like that whole amnesia thing. He doesn't realize it, but he's fond of you because he's actually supposed to kill you. So he's just really drawn to you, but he doesn't know why. So it, like, the revelation is like, you know what I mean? Like, does he kill to fulfill his purpose as like an entity, or does he choose to save his friend? And then the other thing too is the girl, like I was going into, she is secretly this whole time been the daughter of the Byleth guy, or the Balehide guy, which is supposed to be the villain of this game, and she's not even human. He's been, remember the whole Machina thing?
Mm-hmm.
He actually made, like, she died and he made her. She's actually just a robot. That's why she's so strong.
From what I've gathered from the story so far, like from the bits I've seen, it seems like there's like one plot point of where it's like nature going too far or whatever, right? And then there's like another plot point of like the machines.
Mm-hmm.
The machine one seems
it's getting
cooler to
smaller.
me, but I
It
don't
must
really
be
know.
losing power.
You said
because we're
cringe
breathing
or
from the
not,
roof.
or good?
No, cooler. Like it seems like a cooler story to me that the whole world gets taken over by machines.
It doesn't hurt.
Rather than
No
like
headache.
I completely agree with you, but here's the thing. The payoff of the other one is better. Because when you go back to the past, you're taking the position of one of 5 people, and those 5 peoples are all 5 pieces of Malpertio. Malpertio was never the god of destruction. It was the 5 people making a deal with the devil to save everybody from pro-magnation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so like the fact that there's like 5 essences, it's not pieces of each piece of his thing. It's actually each individual person, and they actually come in the true ending to like show the whole thing. But the other thing as well is Wiseman and the dragons. Like I agree with you still, but like the whole what the fuck is Wiseman, the transcendence of space and time, he's the evil that's whispering in everybody's ear in the whole lore of the game. Like even in the first one, they all thought it was Malpertio, but it's been Wiseman the whole time. And then he is like, you could say, the spirit that's kind of guiding your boss, but you don't even find out. They especially on replayability, when you look at the characters' like true natures and stuff like that, they do it well with flashbacks, but me replaying it is kind of like even more rewarding, you know? Because it's kind of like, yeah, where was he then? You know what I mean? What is going on now? Oh, I can see how it was kind of fishy and stuff. But you're kind of like, you're in a position of no choice. Not to mention all the nods to the original characters, like the cloud one that you jumped in on, that was Gibari's. We already did Liu's one with Azza. Nothing really happens to Dol Sud, and the Icelands aren't here. But in the final area of the machinery thing, there's been a little girl that's been kind of like hanging
Who
around
says it's free?
that Shanath guy that was like screaming earlier that loses his temper, and that's actually his dad. So that's why she's like on the run. It's like a Nico Robin, I'd say, like from One Piece thing.
My mission is to
the game
secure
like
this thing.
looks like it holds up pretty well, honestly, from the bits I've seen as well. Like the graphic style actually like looks like it could be made
I'm
like
not
pretty
about to let it
recently,
disappear.
right? Like it's aged pretty well, I think.
Yeah, there are some scenes where I'd say the models don't look so good from angles, like especially at the end of the first one, the white-haired chick. She didn't look great.
Don't.
I gotta show you what I'm talking about some other time, but yeah, like
You know, I get you on that. Like I've seen like pieces that like look a bit jank, right? But it's like you could kind of pass it off for it's the old style of the game, right? Because you have like a lot of games, like even games that release nowadays that just try and look like older games, you know? And like that's like the aesthetic they go for, right? And I think this game holds up pretty okay.
I do like that in this one there's an A and B plot though. I love that. I love when we're done with one story, we're thrown into another one, and then you're still curious on what's happening in each story.
Hey.
It makes you
how
want to
far
go
do we
back,
have
and then
to
when you
go?
come back, it's kind of like, oh yeah, where were we? I don't know. It feels like I'm getting 2 for 1.
Yeah, no, I smell you.
Just a little farther. Stop your grousing.
Well, we just transferred
nothing
over,
you
but
say
I
will
gotta
change
make
anything
sure where
now.
it gets a
Let's just keep
30-minute
going.
mark. That's why I was iffy about the 20. So I just need to hit like 2:30. So if you want to run like an arena or something, or finish your WoW thing, that would work wonders for me.
It's chill. I'm looking over
This
my
keep
watch and the raid I
reminds
played
me of
today
some
anyway
place I learned about
to
at
just have a look
school.
at some stuff.
What was it called again?
See this area right here?
I can't remember.
Like not to soak in it too long, but in the last one, Core Hydra was the final level, and it looked kind of like this. So if you were actually like paying attention, or even if you were playing this after the first, you'd be like, this area has got the same colors of Core Hydra. And then when you get to the end and it's like, this is Core Hydra, it's like, oh shit, this is demon, this is bad, you know? And then they show all the gods, and they link it pretty good, dude, for a prequel. Like, and the funny thing is you don't really see a lot of it coming. You're like, you know what I mean? You're like, this is believable for the verse. I can't believe they squeezed in this much with what they had. Especially since you can't go to the End Magnus. And a lot of the levels are done in different order as well. So it makes it so it's like a Nue was later, which is odd. But you don't even go to certain sections of the map that you did in the first one. And then other maps like Diadem, there's entire areas that are different. Like, they just changed enough of it, but used pretty much the same assets, and they were released, I'd say, year by year to each other. And the same can be said for the Golden Sun game I played on the channel as well. Like side by side, similar assets, but a new thing.
I find that with like a lot of older games, but like I feel like older games generally like have like far better like linking of stories, just because they kind of have them, right? Because there's not that much going on in terms of graphic design and stuff, right? Because there wasn't the ability to do that much with it
Yeah,
back when these
limited.
games were made, right?
Yeah,
So they
completely
kind of
agree.
had to make a really good story to make up for the fact they couldn't spend a lot of time like walking on the like assets, you know?
Yeah, but the thing is because there's like a lot of work in these, and I'm not trying to like live in these types of games. Like when I was struggling with income, right, and or this is the only game you got growing up or something like that, it's not a big deal. But for right now, it's kind of like, this is why I don't mind cheating, just to show off the good stuff, because it's kind of like, you know what I mean? It's kind of like, well,
There's so much to it, right?
yeah, there's
Like,
just
there's
too
so
much
to
stuff
do.
I need to do on the side to stay current, and it's just like, it'd be so many hours when I don't need to pad out game time right now. Like, I don't need any of that.
Yeah, yeah. No,
If anything,
yeah,
I need the opposite. I need to just get to the story section so I can be like, look, guys, cool twist, right? Like I was just telling you, all that stuff can kind of just develop and happen. Like even the sub-story that we just did that you, like, I don't think you saw it, but the whole tree thing, we crash landed in an area in the previous game that was known that you can't escape without a certain item, and we landed in it, and we don't have the item. So it was like a trying to fix the ship, trying to escape the jungle kind of situation. And then when we got out, this nation in the last one, which is later in life, right? Later in the continuity, is known for not helping out in wars, which is what we were there to do. And then they're not willing to help us leave. They're not willing to help us in the war, so we're kind of stranded. So it gives you that vibe of, dang it, I need to get out of here and get my freedom back. And then in the previous area, it's all about like actually fighting back with the rebellion. So it even feels like, or the corruption and greed and like the whole burning down forests. And then the one before that was actually just like now Knights of the Round Table shit. Where in the last one, it was, instead of Knights in the Round Table, it was actually more about fishermen. And then the first area was more about like getting your bearings and understanding the lore of the gods. And then in this third one, it was actually more about discovering the mystic magic and climbing the tree. But we went in the roots for this one. And the jungle wasn't as harsh. There's certain levels that aren't even in this one that were in the last one.
Yeah, I don't know, like games like from like older games like those RPGs, I feel like there's just so much depth put into them, right? It's like I don't know if you ever played like Dragon Quest on like the DS
it'd be 11.
back in the day. Yeah, Dragon Quest, like the game series, there's so much like stuff to do in the early Dragon Quest games. I
unfortunately, this is quite an unfortunate thing, but I unfortunately didn't finish the true ending of Dragon Quest XI. I couldn't be asked. Like, I did almost all of it, and then I got to like a tough boss fight, which was just a redone thing of bosses you've already fought, right?
Yeah.
And I was just like, nah. You know what I mean? I was like, they were like golden forms of the bosses I've already fought, and I could beat a couple of them, but one of them was like, it turns you to gold, and then the other one puts you to sleep or confuses you, and it was like at the same time that you're fighting like 2 to 3 bosses, and it just kept winning, and I was just like, I can't, dude. I was just like, I don't know. When I was younger, it's fine, but when I'm like streaming it or playing it, like I can't sit on it all day. Like I really can't. Like I just don't have the same patience I had as a kid. Or when I was younger, I needed to make the game last anyway. So me spending an entire afternoon doing all this shit wasn't a big deal.
The last boss in that game was just different. Kalasmos, I think his name was.
I don't remember the names. I beat Morgan or whatever his name is, but the final like Majin Buu looking ass guy, I did not end up fighting him. I didn't get the gear. I didn't beat it. I was kind of bummed I didn't beat it, but it was, dude, I don't know, man. It was, I got all the swords except all the things except for like maybe one thing, and I was just like, I'm over this. And everyone wanted me to play other things too. That's the biggest thing with like stuff like this. Like I know I hit you up today, but we said yesterday that we'd play or something. And then because of the stupid chicken, because of the stupid chicken, I couldn't you know what I mean? I couldn't do what I needed to do.
Yeah, no, I get you. The last boss in fucking Dragon Quest XI, it was a Kalamos. He was a pain. The biggest pain about him is like you could only kill him if you had already found out the Super Sword of Light.
I think I did the super. Sword. I think that was the thing I'm talking about. I did that, and it wasn't good enough.
Yeah, you need like a load of other stuff, but it's like you open up with the Super Sword of Light to dispel the darkness that protects him before you can even start attacking him. So you need to have that sword to even start doing damage to him, and then the fight is just insane
That
after that.
sucks.
Right, it's like,
For-
it's kind of the same thing as the chicken, right? Where, like, you know, to beat him, even if, like, you're fully maxed out in the game, you still need a lot of luck to be on your side, right? Which is kind of annoying.
The big issue I have, god damn, there's a lot of Skelly boys. I think the biggest issue I had with not completing that game was the intro had him in it walking around. So there was always like this like sense of wait, what? You know what I mean? Like, what's he doing?
Yeah.
What's going on? And dude, I really wanted to do it. Like, I swear to you, I did want to do it. But it really did feel like the first villain, like the regular one before it was like a changed timeline thing, did his job. You know what I mean? He did enough.
Yeah.
So I was just like, this is fine. I don't have to finish this.
I cheesed that game so hard when it like was actually around on the DS, right? Because you could do like the
Wait, are we
Did
talking
you
about
like
the
the-
same thing? I never played it on the DS. I played it on Xbox.
it was on
released
DS as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was on the DS, and me and my buddy, we used to fucking like, you could link your DSs, right, to come to the same game file,
Mhm.
and you could just use the bosses giga hard by just actually co-oping bosses.
Oh, okay.
That's how I beat it. 'Cause
I
I
honest-
wasn't actually good enough.
I would have beaten it, dude. I actually would have, but dude, it was it's just like the Hollow Bird, dude. Like, when I got older, dude, I had no patience for doing harder tasks like that. Like, it's just too much. Is he gonna run at me if I grab
that's
this?
funny. You know, I can see that for sure. Like, there's a certain point where you're playing a game and you just want to get to the fun stuff without doing all the grinding, right?
Yeah, and
You know,
older games have a lot of that. Even Pokemon, dude. People say they want the old Pokemon back and they hate the, you know, the baby mode or whatever. And I'm just sitting there like, dude, I hated not being able to add new members on my team because they weren't even remotely close to the levels of my current team. Like, I actually hated that.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, most of the time, I ran dragons and pseudos if I could. So it's even, like, when you're a kid, it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter. You can grind all day to get them to your level. You can hit wild whatevers all day and get him to that Dragonite or whatever, right? Or that Tyranitar, whatever you gotta do, right? Like, if, I guess since I was a kid, just to say it. Ooh, Grunners, or whatever that was. Oh no! These little wiener dogs are gonna get me, dude. Dang it. Okay. Dude, when I was a kid, I didn't use the internet for this stuff. Like, I swear to God. Yo, I just have to take my word for it. And, basically, in the Safari Zone, again, I don't know if you know this stuff, there was a Pokemon called Dratini in it. I was just fishing for random Pokemon because I had only had, no lie, my team was just Gyarados and Charizard. Like, I got Magikarp and I grinded it up. Like, the story of my red and blue plate, the save state, is kind of like weird because it's like, I actually, as a kid, my sister was dating a guy named like Cell. No cap, his name was actually Cell. I am not making that up. And he had a copy of Pokemon Red, and I really wanted to play it. I was poor, and I just kind of took it. Like, I stole it. And he already had what is it called? He already had like Golem and Electrode, and he was at the Elite Four. And you know, I was a little kid, I was just like, what is this? You know what I mean? Like, I want it really bad, but what even is this? And I had Golem right there, sitting there, and I was just like, okay, what is Golem? What even is this rock thing or whatever? And I used self-destruct on Dragonite or whatever because he's at Lance, or I used it on Dragonair and it killed my Pokemon but killed his. And he had a Victory Bell too. His team was so fucking odd, you know. You know what I mean? Like for a playthrough, especially back then, Golem. Get your hands on that on Vanilla Red, right? And these weren't glitched. These guys were like level like 50 or whatever. But it was like a Golem, a Victory Bell, and it looked like he just saved in front of Lance and he couldn't beat him with his team. Like the team is just not good. But Electra, like what it. I don't know, dude. It was a pretty odd team. And I was just like, this team's cool and all, but I kind of want my own adventure. And I picked Charmander. You get to the point where you get to the Magikarp guy. I don't know what you know about Red. But I got that and I actually trained at that level. I was just like, there's no way. This is little me, right? I was like, there's no way they give you a Pokemon that's actually worthless. Like, what if I put in the hard work and grind this thing up? What if it turns into something crazy? And it did. You know what I mean? It turned to Gyarados. And I had Gyarados and Charizard and blah, blah, blah. And then eventually it got to the point where I got to Safari Zone. So we're caught back up, right? And I didn't know what fucking... what this thing was. Dratini looks really cool. Like if you look at old sprites of Dratini, it's like this little like snake thing, right? And it was really hard to catch or whatever. So I just kept fishing for it, and then I eventually got it, and I trained it, and its XP growth thing was slow, but I trained it to Dragonair. And then I was just like, it probably gets bigger, and I kept training it and training it and training it until it hit 55 before Koga's gym was done. That's what I mean. Before I finished the 5th batch, I had like level 50, or I had like level 60 Charizard, and this didn't even like start with Dratini. I had a Charmeleon before Brock. Like my sister saw me playing Pokemon, and I was in front of like Victory Road on like the first badge with the Charmander, and she's like, every XP counts, right? She's just like, you gotta grind everything, and I grinded until the Charmander changed. And at this point, I didn't know if Gyarados changed again, but Charmander changed twice, so I thought Pokemon evolved 3 times no matter what. I didn't know about single stages or any of that. Anyway though, I had the patience to do something like that. But, right? Here's the but, right? I don't have that patience anymore. Like, right now, if I found a Dratini, yes, I would want it on my team. But no shot would I want to train that thing. What is it, like millions of XP? To get that guy remotely leveled to the final form before the final area? Where every XP drop is only like, probably like 800 or something? At most, and then a little, like 300?
Yeah, no, I get you. It's like one of those things that when you're younger, right, you don't really know it's a grind when you're doing it, right? So it doesn't feel that bad. But like as you get older and as you play like more and more games, it's like you're like, oh fuck's sake, this is such a grind, you know, and it just makes you not want to do it, right?
Yeah. It makes me go literally like, okay, it wants me to grind because I'm too weak for this area, but that kind of sucks because why am I too weak for this area, right? That's the thing that gets me. I'm like, why the last area I was just fine. Like I was actually killing that area, and now I'm in an area where it's not good enough. I just got like, not power crap, but what is the term? I'm sure there's a term. What is it? I guess difficulty spike or something.
I actually don't know how you'd say it. But like, I know what you're on about.
Yeah, there's like a term for it in gaming where it's like when the game is like like it's either too weak or too strong for
like I would say you just got like walled, right? But I don't think that's like the correct way to say it, right? I would be like you just got like Like I would just say walled, right? Like you know, it's like coming from you know getting dono walled,